Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And today we are really syncing up with a lot of Chelsea, man. It is exactly halfway through the Premier League season. Chelsea have played 18 games. And although there are a million things to talk about, what I specifically want to talk about today is the squad. So I've roped in my good friend Kai from behind the dugouts, and we are going to go through the entire Chelsea team, and we're going to rank them into 4 categories. But before we get any further, Kai, how are you doing, my friend?
Christmas was good, mate. I ain't going to talk about the game. I've done enough of that. Christmas was good.
Yeah,
and I feel like a roasting's coming for this one, but I'm looking forward to getting to
go all out, man.
sticking these players in certain places.
Say what you got to say, man. This is our therapy. Yeah. We can't get it on the pitch, so we'll get it by roasting everyone on the internet instead, because that's what adults do these days when they're not happy about stuff, isn't it? Right.
Exactly.
So just a little bit of explanation before we jump into it. So we're going to basically take every player that has played for us this season, and we're going to rank them in 4 categories. We are going to have elite for the top ones who are absolutely smashing it and we're really happy with. We're going to put keeper for players that maybe aren't as elite as we'd like them to be, but are definitely worth keeping around. We've got OTF, or on the fence, for players where it's like, they could stay or go at this point. And we've got to go, GTG, players that absolutely need to get out of our club right now. So before we get into the team proper, I have got a few omissions of players we won't be talking about, and I'm just going to mention them now because they essentially haven't featured for us and we don't know anything about them. Those are goalkeeper Gaga Slanina, because he's there, he's registered, but we haven't seen him. Also, Max Derrick, who's a very young goalkeeper we picked up at the start of the season. He's on the he's on the website as being a player, but we haven't seen anything about him. Obviously, Levi Colwill, who was injured right at the start of the season, and we're probably not going to see him until the back end. Dario Asugo, who I think he made 1 appearance for us in like a cup or something right at the start, but ultimately injured far too early, and we haven't seen anything of him. And obviously, Mykhailo Mudryk, because although rumours are circulating he will be available for the squad in January, hasn't played for us, and I don't expect to see him back in the team. So that I'm pretty sure that's all the omissions, unless you can think of any that I've missed out.
No, I think that's it, really.
All right, cool, man. In that case, let's get straight into it. So I'm just going in order that they are shown on the Chelsea website, and we're going to start with Robert Sanchez. Is he elite? Is he a keeper? I mean, obviously he's a keeper, but do we keep him? Are we on the fence about him, or has he got to go?
You know what? If you asked me this question at the start of the season, it was probably got to go. Let's get in someone of top quality, and I still think we do need to.
Yeah. But
out of all the players, especially in the last recent weeks and majority of this season, he's taken his game to another level. You can definitely see an improvement. So for me, he's not elite.
No,
but I'd still keep him as if we can go out and get an elite goalkeeper in the summer, and I know this is all speculation, probably won't happen, keep Sanchez as a backup. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. No,
I think his performance deserves
100%
his spot.
I think how have we found ourselves in this position right now where our best player is like Robert Sanchez? Like, when did that happen? But no, I completely agree, man. He's not elite. I'm not on the fence about him, though. Like, I think until we get an elite goalkeeper, or at least Mike Penders is ready to come back in, I think Robert Sanchez has absolutely proved that he deserves to keep his place in the squad at the moment. So we'll move on to another goalkeeper in Philip Jorgensen.
Simple. He's got to go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Not good enough to be a number 2. No. Not good enough to be at a side like Chelsea. He wants to leave.
Yeah.
So let him go.
I think it's a weird one, isn't it? It's like he's only not good enough because he hasn't played. Like, he might have been good enough if he'd have got game time, but ultimately, like, I don't think he's obviously a terrible footballer. I just think his profile of player with his age and where he's at in his development stage was terrible for a number 2. I think if we're going to have a number 2, it either needs to be someone super young with lots of talent, or it needs to be an older experienced keeper like a Marcus Bettinelli or someone like that, doesn't it? But no, 100% agree. I think Jorgensen has to go. I think that's the best thing for him as well as us. Do you know what I mean? I think that he could go on to be a decent goalkeeper, but I just don't think it's going to be in the Chelsea squad. So we're skipping over the 2 goalkeepers I've already mentioned from the omissions. We're getting into the defence, and we're starting with Marc Cucurella.
Elite for me.
Yeah, man.
Right now, for me, best left back in the league, hands down. Arguably in the top 2 for the world.
Yeah.
I'm slightly concerned of what happened yesterday. I'm
taken
hearing
off?
rumours about an injury.
Oh, no way.
Not 100% sure on it. I was hearing rumours about a hamstring injury. I hope that's not true. But for me, he's been one of our stand-up players this season. Last season, unreal. Definitely elite for me.
Yeah, 100%, man. That would be devastating for us if he was injured, man, because the position he plays, like, he's not just a left back, do you know what I mean? He plays in midfield, he gets, in attack. He hasn't scored much this season, like, he was banging him in last season, do you know what I mean? But that doesn't seem to be his role this season. But at the end of the day, fit and ready, elite 100%, and I'd be really disappointed if he was injured because obviously we need him, but also he's just played so much football, and there's an argument we'll get into later about Yoel Hato maybe should have had a few more games. I don't know if hamstring injuries are like you can get them from playing a lot or whether it's more of just like an in the moment thing.
It can be done as an overuse injury. We saw Liam Delap, his one was a sprint and pull, different things, but yeah, I hope it's not true. I hope it was just a precautionary thing and that's why he come off, but I'm sure we'll hear more about it in the coming days.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Or not, because no news is good news, right?
Yeah, good. Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. We will move on to Tosin Adarabioyo.
Do you want to start with this one, or should
He's got to go, man, hasn't he? He's got to go. There's a few reasons that he's got to go. So part of me actually feels a little bit bad for Tosin Adarabioyo because he was never meant to be Chelsea, a starting centre-back for Chelsea. He was always meant to be a squad option because we got him on a free from Fulham. Do you know what I mean? That's just the absolute truth about it. And he was never supposed to be able to play at the level of a Wesley Fofana or a Levi Colwill. He was supposed to be a depth guy at the end of the day. And he had a lot of pressure put on him. And I don't think we should be surprised that he's played badly because he never really showed the kind of potential that said, oh, get him in right now. He was just a squad option, wasn't he? And obviously he's been horrendous for the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem, we look at the young players and we go, the likes of Yoel Hato and things like that, they're not getting enough game time, so they're not getting enough experience and not getting enough football in their legs to come on, and when they're given that opportunity to show that they've got the quality, which you understand, you need to play more football to get more experience. With Tosin being 26, coming on to 27, he's had many years in the Premier League, he's played a lot of football, and if he's going to be used in a squad rotation kind of way, when he steps on the pitch, regardless of what opposition it is, playing for a club like Chelsea, he needs to show the quality for just that game. And every game, bar what I think the Burnley one of recent times I can think of that he actually played a decent game, he's been poor every single showing.
Yeah, man, for sure.
And that is not what I expect from your more experienced player. He should be able to come and do the job for at least one game. And he's not been able to. So for me, he's got to go.
It's like Sanchez, isn't it? Last season, it's just the errors, man. Do you know what I mean? It's just the errors. It's not like he plays terrible throughout the entire game. It's just high-profile errors that are costing us. Like, he has replaced Sanchez in the player that is creating errors that are leading to goals. Like, he is at fault for the Leeds loss, as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean? Just like they're a relegation battling team, and Tosin Adarabioyo literally gave those goals away, man. So yeah, 100% for me, Tosin got to go. I'll be interested to see what you think about the next one. It is Benoit Badiashile.
For me, he's got to go. I've not seen enough in the time that he's been with us. I don't think he is of Chelsea standard, and what does that mean anymore? Because the standards have dropped so far, it's ridiculous. But he's not what I expect from a Chelsea. And yes, he has the quality on the ball, probably more so than a lot of our other centre backs, but it's still not good enough, and he is still liable to an error. I mean, look what he did against Aston Villa yesterday.
Yeah, 100%.
Not coming in, he's not of the right quality to be a squad rotation player. And could we use that money and reinvest in something better, or that potentially could be better? Because at the moment, it's just not good enough. So for me, he's got to go.
It's mad that he even started in the Aston Villa game, man. I don't know if that was just like a profile thing because he's a reasonably good passer, do you know what I mean? But it's like Fofana was on the bench, so I've got absolutely no idea what's gone on there because Fofana can't be injured because he was on the bench. But no, do you know what? Honestly, yesterday's game, like if before the game yesterday, I'd have said on the fence, because thinking about him not as like a first teamer, but as a squad rotation player, he's been alright. He was really good against Liverpool earlier in the season. He hadn't really, like last season and the season before, there was errors quite a lot, but he seemed to be cleaning that up. But then he comes back yesterday and obviously gives the error that causes the goal. So yeah, yesterday has just edged me out of on the fence and got to go, because I was already like, long term I know he's not good enough, but as a squad player, could he like, is he better than Tyson Adarabioyo? Like, I thought so, but maybe not. All right, cool, we'll move on, and we've talked about this one a little bit already. It's Yoel Hato.
Look, I haven't seen enough of him to. It's really hard to put him in. Like, I want to keep him definitely because he's an understudy to Cucurella. That's the main thing that he was brought in, but he's not getting enough playing time. So to make any sort of fair judgment on Yoel Hato is unfair, because you haven't seen enough of him. But
100%.
Keep him being what he was brought in to be, an understudy, and you can see some potential.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, he's had some few good moments, but again, he's a really, really young player. He needs more playing time to see anything from him.
Yeah, and definitely. For me, it's like he's a keeper. I'm not even on the fence about it, and he is probably one of the easily highlightable mistakes that Enzo Maresca has made this season in not giving him more game time and just consistently playing Marc Cucurella. I understand he couldn't come on yesterday. He obviously wasn't available to be in the squad because he's injured, but this is why we've got players like this, man. Do you know what I mean? So, we won't get too into it now, but there's a lot of conversation about the board and the technical directors are asking Enzo Maresca to rotate more. And it's for stuff like this, isn't it? It's like you've got Yoel Hato there. Marc Cucurella doesn't have to play every single game. And you've got Yoel Hato, but he's just getting no game time. He got 6 assists for Ajax last season, so he's clearly got some attacking prowess to his game as well. I do think we could be looking at a good player here. But if he goes, what's he played, like 4 games for us? If he doesn't manage more than 10 appearances by the end of the season, you got to think he's going to be thinking, why have I made this move? Yeah. He wasn't cheap either, man. It was like 45 odd mil, wasn't it? Right, okay, so for me, keeper, I think we're in agreement on that one. We'll move on to Trevor Chalobah.
Keep for me.
Yeah.
A keep, as Trevor's got us through some tough times, man.
Yeah,
and he's a Cobham graduate. So much love for Trev. But I wouldn't say he's an elite centre-back. No. But what he is what I expect squad depth and a squad rotation player to look like.
100%.
He's quality. He comes in and does the job. I mean, even when we brought him back from Crystal Palace last season, he slotted straight in.
Yeah.
Straight in, done the job, got us through that tough period. And that's what I expect. And that's what you would expect the likes of Benoit Badiashile and Tosun to be, but they don't do it. Trev, he does it, and he deserves to stay. I don't want to see him being ushered out again. No. So, do you know what? I think it's going to get really complicated with Trevor Chalobah for a few reasons. So, I'm with you, keeper, and you hit the nail on the absolute head as far as I'm concerned. Trevor Chalobah is what our centre-back squad depth should look like. Do you know what I mean? Trevor Chalobah isn't an elite centre-back that is going to necessarily propel us to the league, but he is a guy that can feature alongside that Virgil van Dijk, John Terry, Thiago Silva type player, as and when needs be. But also, he's just like, he's a really decent player. The problem I foresee with Trevor Chalobah is he's still an academy graduate and his stock has only gone up. We were talking about selling him for 30 mil. I think the owners are going to be licking their lips at the idea of getting 50, 60 mil for Trevor Chalobah. You know what I mean? So I do worry about that, but not even just from their side. At the end of the day, he's a starting Premier League centre-back now. If we go out and buy an elite centre-back, which I don't know whether we will, but if we do that, is Trevor Chalobah going to be happy to move back to a rotational role just because he wants to be at Chelsea? Like, I've got a feeling probably not. So I have a feeling that if we go out and buy the centre-back that we all want, that first teamer, the guy that's just going to come in and get the job done elite-wise, I have a feeling that Trevor Chalobah might agitate for a move away anyway, and I don't think there'll be much resistance to it because of his value and how much his stock has risen. So, keeper, but put a pin in that. It's going to be down to him and the board, which generally always is anyway. But
100%. Right, so moving on. This is an easy one. Reece James.
Yeah, elite.
Oh,
elite.
So
you know
good.
what? The Maresca, I've got a lot of problems with him this season, more so than I had with him last season. But the one thing I have to say, what he's done with getting our injury list next to almost nothing compared to what we've seen over the last few years, and just to keep Reece James fit to the point where he's playing 90-minute games, like game after game, it's just a blessing. I mean, he's such a quality player.
Ridiculous.
He is the captain, and even over the last few games, been the one that's trying to drag us through the mud, man, to get us through. So for me, elite, he's got to be staying.
Yeah, 100% agree, man. I think it's really interesting because I think part of what has kept Reece James fit is his transition into new positions. Do you know what I mean? I think if we'd have thrown Reece James back into the team after that injury as a flying right wing back or right back like he used to be, I think that probably would have been harder to do. But I think he suits being a midfielder. I think he suits being that right centre back inverting into midfield role. I think and like you say, I've got issues with Maresca, but I have to give him credit for finding a position that not only allows Reece James to stay fit, but still gets the best out of his very specific set of attributes that he's really good at. And ultimately, he's really grown into that leadership role. Like, I wasn't sure when we signed him up as captain, but I'm seeing a lot more captain material from him now. So 100% Reece James is elite, and I don't think anyone would argue that. I saw a title of a YouTube video today called "Is Reece James Too Good for Chelsea?" and that was from a Chelsea fan, and I was like, oh, that's not a conversation I want to be having yet.
Keep that hit to yourself.
And right, okay, cool, we'll move on. I'll be really interested to see what you think about this one. It's Malo Gusto.
I'm still going to say keep for Malo Gusto. I like the depth of this season. A million times better than he was last season. And he's had games this season where I've looked at him and gone, there's some quality in there. And we've seen what he can be when used correctly. For me, the biggest thing is Malo Gusto being used correctly this season. Times yes, most of the time no. And I think that's a detriment to him. He shows that he's versatile and he's thrown anywhere on the pitch. Maresca loves to do it. But he is great squad depth for an understudy to Reece James. He is, still 22 years old, so he's really still got so much to learn. And he is a good player. He is a good player.
I worry about other teams looking at Malo Gusto and seeing the potential in leaving him in one position consistently. I do think that his versatility is his greatest strength and biggest curse. Do you know what I mean? Because as a player, you need to spend time in positions to develop in that position, don't you? And I feel really bad for Malo Gusto because he is being asked one day you're a 10, one day you're a 6, one day you're a right back, one day you're a left back, one day you're a shadow striker, one day you're coming on for the last half an hour of a game as a right winger. Do you know what I mean? And ultimately, that is so much to take on mentally to be able to play all of these different, because he can play all of these different roles at a 6 out of 10. But I feel like if he was given a run in a single position and added to the team as that, he could be a 7, 8 out, like an Azpilicueta. Do you know what I mean? So 100% keeper for me. I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans being like, "I'll get him out of my squad and I'm gonna get him out of my club." I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like, he is the absolute player you want in an injury situation, in a rotation situation, if you want a tactical shift. I think his versatility is being overused. That particular thing of his thing is being overused a bit, but ultimately doing a really, really good job. So Malo Gusto is a keeper. Wesley Fofana, what do we think about Wes?
For me, it's going to be down to his injury. If he gets injured again, he's got to go. I'm sorry. But if he can stay fit, like since he's come back defensively, we would look 100 times better, and you can see what he could be. But like even last season, the season before, we've not, since he's joined, we've barely seen him to make a clear judgment on it. But we can see what there could be. So if he can stay fit till the end of the season, I would say keep him. I still don't think his quality, but I still think we need something better. To take us to that next level. But I would still keep him. But if he gets another injury that's going to keep him out, then he's got to go.
I think it's really interesting with Wesley Fofana because I think he might be the only player on this list that very, very tightly straddles the line between elite and got to go. I think, and I say that, I'm not saying that Wesley Fofana is obviously elite, but what I am saying is if you look at our win percentage since we've had him, with him on the field, it's like 60-70% compared to without, or maybe even more than that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we don't see him obviously being this like amazing centre back like your Van Dijks or your Terrys or whatever. But at the same time, it's like when he's on the pitch, we generally do better. Do you know what I mean? To lose with Wesley Fofana on is unusual since he's joined Chelsea. So in that himself, and I'm with you. I think he's a keeper one way or the other. I think the investment was so huge. That even if he gets injured again, selling him is going to be an absolute nightmare. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do agree that if he gets injured again to that long-term degree, then everyone's going to be like got to go. But I think as of right now, because he may not get injured, do you know what I mean? I think keeper right now, I'm not on the fence about that. But like I say, I just find his specific situation so unusual because I don't think, like I say, any other player on this list is so close to the top or the bottom, depending on what happens. Do you know what I mean? It's a really weird one. So we'll move on to Josh Achiampong.
Keep.
Yeah.
Keep. I got big things for Josh, and I see big things for him. He just needs to be playing more. But I don't want to see him go anywhere. I do feel like a loan's coming.
Yeah,
which I'm sad about.
Not man. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me that we're playing Benoit Badiashile, we're playing Tosin Adarabioyo, and Josh Achiampong just isn't getting the game time. And Maresca's even come out and said that, and still we're just not seeing him really. And again, when we are seeing him, exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how is Benoit Badiashile? Unless there's something we don't know about, which is obviously really difficult to say. But at the end of the day, if it was injury related, then Maresca would have said something, wouldn't he? So I mean, you would have thought. So yeah, no, 100%. Man, keeper could be elite and I think he should stay with the team as well, man. Do you know what I mean? Maybe a loan would be good for him but the thing is, if we shift Tosin, Badiashile and Disasi to bring in one centre back, then he becomes that backup, doesn't he? He literally becomes, even when Levi Colwill comes back, just seems too useful to have around for me. But at the same time, for his development, maybe a loan would be best. But either way, we're at keeper at the moment. Right, so now we move into the midfield and we start with Enzo Fernandez.
This is a tough one, man.
It is a tough one, and I was thinking about this before we started.
I'm going to go. I'm on the fence with Enzo, if I'm going to be real.
Yeah.
There's moments where I look at Enzo Fernandez and I think, whoa, you could take it. You could take this team to another level if you can produce this week in, week out, but he just doesn't.
No.
He just doesn't. And I know we've used a lot of the excuse that he's tired and he's fatigued. And to be fair, he was playing quite a few games and he obviously had the hernia thing like that. But he just seems to get to a point, he plays one really good game and then he just stagnates and then he slowly gets worse and then he has couple games out the team because he's tired or fatigued, and then he comes back and it takes him a long time to get back to where he's going. I've just not seen the 115 or whatever it was million worth of player
I think
for me to go keep elite. I just haven't seen it.
For me, I'm exactly where you are. I was stuck between keeper or on the fence, and I think I'm like you, man, on the fence. I think the problem with Enzo Fernandez is 30% of the time he's a match winner. That's an arbitrary number, by the way. It's not a stat, but that's what it feels like. Do you know what I mean? It feels like that 3 in 10 games, he'll win you the game. But apart from that, you don't see him do enough. And what I've seen a lot of from Chelsea fans in my comments and across the, across YouTube and stuff in general, is they're saying you obviously don't watch him play. You obviously just don't appreciate how good he is. And maybe that's true. I'm not really sure, man. Like I'm not going to say no 100%. But what I see from Enzo Fernandez is, unless he's arriving late in the box or making some unbelievable pass from deep, 3 out of 10 games arbitrarily, let's say that, I don't see a lot else from him. Do you know what I mean? And
I think it also goes down to like positional wise and how he's used, because for me he's not a holding midfielder, but he's played along Caicedo as a holding midfielder, and he's not a 10.
No.
He's an 8, but he doesn't get played in an 8. He's either played in the holding midfield or he's played as the 10 when Palmer's out injured. And for me, we just can't seem to get the best out of him because we're not using him correctly, and that's not his fault.
No,
that's more so on the manager and the system, and I get that. And like you mentioned, people will say you don't watch him. We do watch him, and like I said, there are moments that he shows some real quality, but it's not consistent enough. Not for the price tag that we've paid. But it also could be because of the way that we use him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, innit? The worry is that like another manager could come in. And I guess the problem is our team is built for a number 10 at the moment, and it's really hard to fit an Enzo Fernandez type player into a team that uses a number 10. Like if you send Enzo Fernandez to Barcelona and you put him in one of those two advanced 8 roles, then I'm sure he'd be absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, it's just like I'm 100% with you, man. It's like I think the position thing is hurting him, and Chelsea have done this so many times, man, where we buy players who are good in really specific positions, and then we don't play them in that position because it doesn't exist in the team. We've done that so many times, and I do think Enzo Fernandez is a good example of that. So, on the fence. Yeah, I agree. Actually, I am on the fence. For that one. I think the truth is, although the news has been quiet about it for a while, if Madrid come in with 150 million bid for him, they'll sell him, wouldn't they? That's the truth. Yeah. Right. Okay. Interesting one. Andre Santos.
I'm going to say on the fence.
Yeah.
I want to say keep.
Yeah.
Because of the potential and the age. But if I go by what I've seen this season, and again, this is not really down to the player. This is more down to the way that he's been used.
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough, but what he does provide, you would say he provides quality and depth because there's a bit of quality there, but he's not used as that depth player. I mean, how many times have we seen players taken off Caicedo or Enzo, and we've stuck a right back in midfield rather than an Andre Santos?
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like such a waste of a player.
Yeah,
of what potentially could be a really good player.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
I'm going to say on the fence just because I haven't seen enough from him. If we're going on the Strasbourg season last year, I'd probably say, keep. But obviously he wasn't with us at that point, so...
No, I actually agree 100%. I think the reason I'm on the fence about him is not because I don't think he could be good enough. It's because I just think Maresca doesn't fancy him. I think that if Maresca liked him, we'd have seen more of him. I thought after the Strasbourg, performance from all of last season, he was going to come in and push Enzo Fernandez for a spot. But I also think that he's going to be another casualty of we need to make money out of players, and he's not getting played. And which is awful when you think about it, because that means that all of our midfield depth ultimately... Oh, I forgot to mention Romeo Lavia, by the way. We should probably exclude him in the emissions. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andre Santos, I want to say keep, because I do what I've seen from him in Santos in the few games, like in Burnley, he played an amazing job as a number 6, and he can get the odd goal and he can get the odd assist, but again, he's suffering from inconsistent playing time and inconsistent roles. Although not quite as much as Malo Gusto, every time he's coming on, he's being asked to do something different. Sometimes he's a 6, sometimes he's an 8, sometimes he's a number 10. Do you know what I mean? He's also being asked, so he's also... another casualty of Enzo Maresca's penchant for, you can play 3 different positions and I'm going to play you 4 to 5 times a season and you're going to play in different positions every game. So yeah, on the fence, and not like you're saying, not because of him, just because of how he's being used. And if we are going to continue with Enzo Maresca, I don't see that changing really.
No. And look, we've got so many young players that have all got the title of the potential that they could be great. Right now, especially the way the squad's going with the manager that we've got to look at this and go, what players is he actually using? What players are actually fitting? And like you said, he's one that he just doesn't seem to trust, doesn't seem to use. So we don't get to see the best of him.
No,
so
it's really unusual.
It's tough.
With Andre Santos, yeah, really tough one. So yeah, I'm on the fence too, man. I think we'll call that an on the fence. Such a shame because I had really high hopes for him for this season, but ultimately, so far, it's not meant to be. Right, easy one. Moise Caicedo.
Elite. 100%. The only thing I'm going to say for Caicedo, is he's starting to fly into his challenges very carelessly.
Yeah, I've noticed
which is causing him to get a few bookings.
Yeah.
Just calm down. But I think that's also because he's having to do everything in that midfield and try and literally sweep up everything. But he is elite and he has come on every single season. He is getting better and better and better. And it's only going to get better for us going forward. So, yeah, definitely elite for me.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's interesting you said that, actually, because after the Newcastle game, so I did 10 takeaways from the Newcastle game. One of them I'd noticed is Moises Caicedo has been a bit off it since he got sent off in the Arsenal game. That seems to be like the catalyst for whatever's gone on with him. He was arguably just the best midfielder in the Premier League up until that point, but he's got a few games under his belt since coming back from that ban and whatever, but it just seems like something's changed. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but yeah, he definitely seems a little bit more rash. He's flying into these tackles. His a couple of wayward passes yesterday, actually, in the Aston Villa game, which was quite unusual as well. But those are very, very, very minor things to look at, aren't they? When at the end of the day, what he is an elite player and the sort of player that we need to be building our squad off. 100% agree with that. All right, so no, we will talk about this one. Romeo Lavia. So just before I'll let you answer. I don't know why I didn't even put him in the omissions, because he's missed so much game time, but I think he's played like 5-6 games, which is more than some of the other people on this list, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go in with Romeo Lavia. What is it for you?
The thing is, right,
Yeah, go on.
if we're looking at midfield depth,
Yeah.
and we've gone, on the fence for Enzo, elite for Caicedo,
Yeah.
on the fence, I really want to say keep to Romeo Lavia. I just don't think his injury record is going to change.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I think it may change, but in a different league, in a warmer country.
100%.
I don't think the cold, the UK, the rainy, wet weather, the pace of the league, I don't think his body's just been broken.
I mean, he's from Belgium, man. It's not exactly like tropical over there. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, I know what you mean, mate. But like how long have we had him now?
A
Couple of seasons.
a couple of seasons.
And
no,
it's just ongoing. He's not managed to stay. And what annoys me, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say it's annoying because it's harsh on the player. Like, it's not his fault. His body's breaking down, and I get that. It's probably more frustrating for him than it is for us. Definitely.
100%. Yeah, for sure.
But it's he's going to be back in a month, and then this was at the beginning of November. He'll be back month's time, beginning of December. Have you heard anything?
No.
I don't even know where this guy is.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a weird one, isn't it? It's like,
we're now 2 months down the line, and we've
Yeah.
heard nothing. And that is and every injury is the same.
Yeah.
Every injury, he'll be back in a month, back in 2 months, and it's like 4 or 5 months down the line, or he's not ready yet.
And
And
the reason
that is the problem.
The reason this is such a hard one is because generally, not all of the time, but generally, when he's on the pitch, our midfield looks great. Do you know what I mean? Like, a fit, available, and in form Romeo Lavia, to me, fits better in our team than Enzo Fernandez does. I know that might be controversial. Come at me in the comments if you disagree. Let's chat about it, man. But I think I'm on the fence about it. It's not got to go for me because I don't. I think we just struggled to sell him for a start. Do you know what I mean? I think it's really easy to say get him out of the club, but just his specific situation with how much he was worth versus trying to recoup some of that investment versus his actual genuine potential. We're not talking about like a Benoit Badiashile or an Axel Disasi who have just turned out to not be good enough. Romeo Lavia 100% could be good enough, but he, more than anyone in the squad, is just like curtailed by injury, essentially. So for me, it's on the fence, to be honest. I'm not harsh enough to say got to go. I think if we can get him, it feels like a Strasbourg loan for the next season, depending on if they get in the Champions League or not, because that could complicate things. But a Strasbourg loan would be good, or an Italian team, or something where the pace and the physicality is a little bit less, and we can. Yeah, but I don't even know if it's
Build up his
challenges and stuff.
It's so tough to. Because again, this injury is a new one. It's not a recurring one. So he's now got a new injury that he's played with that is keeping him out for longer. So now he's got 2 potential injuries that could come back.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it's so tough. And I, like you said, I do think we look a better side when he's fit and he's playing.
Yeah.
But what's the point of having a 45, 50 million pound midfielder
60
that you can use for 3 games a season? Like, what is the point? It just doesn't make sense.
No, 100%. And I think it's going to be one of those, isn't it? It's like, if he isn't fit, like, I don't think he'll be given another season at Chelsea to do what he's doing now. I think if he hasn't managed to get back into the team playing by the end of the season, I think they'll loan him somewhere. And it could even be lower league. Do you know what I mean? It's not even because a lot of other, teams that are fighting for stuff or trying to stay in their leagues or whatever won't look at Romeo Lavia and be like, yeah, that's definitely what we need. It'll have to be somewhere where his quality outshines their position so much that the gamble is worth it for them, even if he ends up injured. So on the fence for me. Final word from you.
I've I think he's got to go. I think it's time.
Okay. This is the first time we've disagreed on one, so I'll just put him in. Got to go. I'll defer to you on this one. I do understand. Like I say, I'm willing to fight for I think long term.
It's not based on his quality and what he can produce. It's just the fact that we've had him for 2-3 seasons and we can't use him. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, 100%. All right, okay, we'll move on, and we're getting into the attackers now. We're going to start with Pedro Neto.
I'm going to say keep.
Yeah.
And I know it took a while there, and I bet you were thinking, why you take... The thing is, and this is where we start talking about quality.
Yeah.
I do think we can upgrade on him.
I agree.
And I think he could become a squad player.
Yeah.
But I also know that he's better than a lot of, if not all of the other wingers that we do have.
Yeah.
So I would say keep for now. But I also see him being as potentially the first one out the door if we were to sell a winger.
100%. I think because he's the only winger we've got whose stock has risen at the end of the day. Like Garnacho and Jamie Gittins, their stock isn't rising. Tyreek George is on his way out anyway. Esteval Williams not going anywhere. Giovanni Quenda coming in next season at 18, 19 years old he'll be. Do you know what I mean? That's going to be another one where it's like... the thing with Pedro Neto is his ceiling isn't as high as an Esteval or a Giovanni Quenda. Like, I would hope by the time Esteval and Giovanni Quenda are Neto's age, they're world class. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't call Neto world class, but as of right now... Pedro Neto is the minimum level of quality. And I say that like it's a bad thing. Like, he's a great player, man. Do you know what I mean? He's a great player. And I think right now we need him in the team to help us transition into that, get Esteval more minutes. And
finding a lot of our players, and agree or disagree with me if you want, that a lot of the players that are in our first team are depth players, not starting.
Yeah, that is...
and he's one of them. He reminds me of, not same stylistically, but like a Pedro from Barcelona when we brought him. Like, he wasn't that winger that was going to be starting every week, but when you brought him on, he was going to bring something. And Pedro Neto, and like a lot of those players that we've got, and we'll speak about more of them shortly, they are depth players.
Yeah, I agree.
And we need more quality for first teamers, and then they can come on and build the depth. So I would say, keep him for me.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think keep him now because the level, if we ranked all of our players by level now, he's in the higher echelons.
He's going to be up there, yeah.
We, whilst we're getting to where we're getting to, we need him essentially to kind of keep our attack level reasonably consistent. But it's not like he's scoring 10, 15 goals a season or is a massive creative threat or, there's definitely, we could get so much more, do you know what I mean, out of that position in general. I do agree with that. And I think we'll have that when Esteval levels up a bit. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it will take Esteval long to become better than Pedro Neto is now. But keep 100%. So we'll move on. I'm fascinated to see what you think about this one. Really strange situation. It is Liam Delap.
You know what? I'm between on the fence and got to go.
Same.
If I'm going to be real, and I'm leaning to more to got to go. Yeah. And I get it. He's young.
Just for a bit of clarification, I guess what we haven't talked about is does got to go mean sell, or could that mean like a loan, or is it on the fence?
Yeah. Like he's not good enough to lead the line as a starting. When he's coming on as a backup depth option, he's more interested in chokeslamming people and doing WWE, less about the football. I mean, he come on yesterday, the first thing he done was got booked. Not touched the ball. Do you know, find it interesting? That's almost exactly what happened the last time he came back from an injury as well. Exactly.
Gets on the pitch, first thing that happens, gets sent off.
And he reminds me of an old school type of striker. A big lump, gets in your face, wants to just fight everybody.
Yeah.
And back in the day, you love that.
Yeah.
And they can get away with that.
They could score goals as well,
They can't do it now.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, they score goals. He's got all the hustle and bustle, all the aggression with no end product.
Yeah, agreed.
No goals.
Yeah.
And if he wants to play that way, great. I love a bit of aggression. I love a bit of fight from a striker.
Yeah, same.
But right now, just focus on scoring goals.
Yeah.
And then you bring that back in later. Because at the moment, you're doing nothing for me. Nothing. And it's another wasted player in a position that we have been crying to solve for years.
Yeah, long time. No,
And I can't deal with it anymore. I want some quality up there.
So just to get your final word on, you could let's say Got to Go could be on loan as well.
I'm going to say he needs a loan. I think he needs a loan to a Premiership team, not out to France or maybe Spain. But I want him to get into stay in a physical league where the pace is quick and get him some more football. Again, he's obviously been plagued by injury, so he's not played that much this season either.
So I am, in terms of a loan, I'm also Got to Go. I'm not really on the fence about that. And the thing is, though, what I will say is that isn't necessarily just about him as a player. It pertains to his situation. Do you know what I mean? I think his situation has put him in this category rather than him himself. So after I did my Aston Villa review, one of the things I said about Liam Delap is the problem with Liam Delap is the Liam Delap we've got right now is either actually the same or a little bit worse than the one we bought at the start of the season. That's the issue, isn't it? Because he's been injured so much and because he's getting bans for choke slamming people on the pitch or whatever, he hasn't had any time to develop. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. So the problem with Liam Delap now is there's more pressure on him to develop now than there was at the start of the season because we're halfway through. We're not in an amazing position and we need goals. Do you know what I mean? So he's missed almost an entire first half of the season and not missed completely. He's got 1 goal in 11 games, 12 games now against a 10-man Barcelona, and that's not good enough. Do you know what I mean? That's not good enough. But if you think about the Liam Delap that we saw in the Club World Cup and the Liam Delap that we saw in pre-season, he was getting some goals. So the issue is he hasn't been able to kick off from there and has been reset twice, essentially, with these injuries that keep on happening. So, yeah, for me, Liam Delap has got to go on loan because I just don't think... It's like João Pedro already, we'll get into him in a minute, but do you know what I mean? There's already issues there with goal scoring. If your depth option can't score at all, we've got 2 striker depth options that can't score goals. Do you know what I mean? So... that's just kind of where we are. But no, I am Got to Go, and that is largely because of his situation pertaining to the injuries. He hasn't been able to get enough game time. Maybe he needs to go back to a promoted team when the next season rolls around. Do you know what I mean? I don't think get rid of him anytime soon. Keep him for the rest of the season, and maybe next season get him over to a promoted team. So, another interesting one, Cole Palmer.
Elite.
Yeah.
Build a squad around.
Yeah.
Just needs to get fit. You can see the difference in not just the difference what he does to the team. You can see the difference in football IQ of him as a player when he's on the pitch. The things that he tries, and I know a lot of the passing and things that he's done of late have been under hit, but you can see the idea that 99.9% of the other players on the pitch don't have that footballing IQ. He has got the brain. Even things like when the ball's coming, it's been intercepted by the opposing team and they're trying to take a touch away from the player. He reads that touch to get round them to get the ball. And you look at other players, they just don't have that kind of IQ in football. So for me, elite, got to build around.
Yeah, 100% agree, man. I think the problem with Palmer, again, is he's not come back into a team that's playing really well and is now being relied upon again. So that's more pressure on him that he didn't really need, when what he's doing at the moment is playing off rust at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? He's missed such a long time. And even before, he was out for ages. He was in and out a little bit and wasn't able to play at his full capacity because of the groin injury. So we've been missing full-fledged Cole Palmer for a while now. And obvious, build your team around him, man. 100% build your team around him. I thought it was unusual to take him off for Esteval the other day. Yesterday in the Aston Villa game. That seemed like... Because we still had like half an hour, 25 minutes, half an hour? No.
And the thing, Maresca said he can do 90 minutes and your team, well, I think was it 1-1 at that point?
Yeah.
Or... So why take off a player that can, score a goal out of nothing?
Yeah.
And then you're bringing on an Esteval who has that bit of magic. Get them working together.
Yeah.
Get them combining. He didn't have the greatest of games, but players like Palmer, they don't have the greatest of games, and then suddenly they turn up and they just hit a worldie from the edge of the box, top corner. That's what those kind of players do.
Do you know what you said something to me a little while ago that has been living in my head rent-free? And it was we were talking about Esteval, and you said, are you worried about Enzo Maresca coaching the magic out of Esteval Willian? And it's just got my head thinking so much, man. Like, I'm not Maresca out, do you know what I mean? We're not at Graham Potter levels yet at the end of the day. That's where we need to be for me. But one thing I do keep thinking about is Pochettino's Cole Palmer. and how much freedom he was given, and what an absolutely unbelievable player he looked like because of it. Now, there was other issues with Pochettino's system. It was very focused on fitness and athleticism rather than, tactics and
Our
stuff.
defence was like a brothel.
Yeah,
Open
exactly.
season. Like
Do
it
you
was,
know what I mean? But no, I'm starting to think like, are we ever going to see that Cole Palmer again, man? And that's a sad thing, isn't it? Because even maybe Cole Palmer in this team with this manager, maybe the best we're going to see out of him is 10 to 15 goals a season, when he could be a guy that scores 30 plus when he's given that freedom and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because he, like you just said about his football brain being so good.
Yeah, I think one of the things I can't say it's not helped because this is just football. He had a breakout season under Poch because he was unknown.
Yeah.
And obviously it took a while for people to clock onto it.
Yeah.
But what has happened now is he's like man marked, and they're putting more players around him because they know he is the threat and what he can do.
Do you know
But
what I noticed
yeah.
in the Aston Villa game yesterday is he kept getting into positions and people weren't looking for him. This is something that's
because
changed.
they don't have the same IQ.
Yeah. So he was like, I saw it, like, and he started to look a little bit frustrated. It was loads of, I actually was like, I'm actually really paying attention to the game. But I noticed that Cole Palmer so many times would start a 1-2 or something, or he'd drift out, or he'd make a run through the middle, or he'd set something up that was like you could see what he was doing. And then it was just getting farmed out wide. It was like every single time it was like Neto or Garnacho.
It's two things. IQ of the player that he's trying to do the 1-2 of, which you wouldn't expect it at the highest of levels.
No.
Like they should have that kind of IQ to understand when a 1-2 is coming on. But also systematically and how Maresca wants the team to play. Does he want them to recycle? Does he want them to spread the ball out to the wings, which we know he does quickly? So immediately when you're picking up the ball in midfield, the first thing in your mind is, the manager wants me to make sure I get it out to my wingers so they're isolated 1v1 with their fullback. So that's all they do.
Garnacho got on the ball so much yesterday.
Exactly.
As well, man,
and
didn't he?
same thing, like if you're doing a 1-2, I've got two players in front of me, you can see the gap. You're like, you can play that ball through there. Palmer's made that run. He knows you can play the ball through there.
Yeah.
But systematically, Maresca wants them to recycle and keep hold of the ball, keep possession. So rather than playing that dangerous pass or that risky pass, let's turn back, let's recycle, let's start again, let's draw them out. And that is the problem when you become so robotic.
Yeah.
And we talk about it
definitely.
all the time. Like, we're so easy to read. And when we play against low blocks, it's even worse because they always have 11 men behind the ball. So you're always recycling. You're always, starting again by going back to the centre back, spreading it out wide. Oh, it doesn't work. Back into the midfield, centre back, out to the other. There's no risk. Palmer's the only one that really takes risk with the ball. And that's why you see a lot of his misplaced passes and you go, oh, it's a crap pass. Oh, it's awful. But he's trying to play the risk pass because you risk, you get the reward at the end of the day.
Sure.
And that is part of the reason why I'm slightly concerned that the magic is going to be coached out of players.
Yeah, no, it is something that's concerned me, actually. I'm like, because we are targeting these magical players as well. Do you know what I mean? We're targeting these players that have high footballing IQ and are unpredictable, but the system we've got at the moment is so formulaic, it's so systematic, it is so, when this happens, you need to be here, and I don't want you to make decisions. I want you to do exactly this thing when you're in this position when the ball gets to you. And I do worry about that. That is... something I would, it is an argument against Maresca's
You know what
system,
highlighted
I
it
think.
for me the most
Yeah, go on.
was the Conference League final.
Yeah,
And Cole Palmer came out in the interview.
yeah,
I was bored
yeah,
and I wanted to change the game,
Yeah.
which means he's being told to play that way, and he's had enough and decided to revert back and play his way. And you look at the rewards you get. It's not going to work every time, don't get me wrong.
No, of
Otherwise,
course.
he'd be scoring goals left, right and centre. But it's those kind of moments and
he
those
needs
kind
that
of
faith,
decisions.
doesn't he? He needs that
Yeah.
faith, and that's the thing. He looked frustrated when he came off yesterday as well, man, didn't he?
Yeah,
Like he was
having a
he
go
was
at the geezer on the bench, wasn't it? I can't remember who it was, but
it's like,
he
why am I
looked
coming off?
frustrated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure. And the thing is, the other thing, this is another mad thing from Enzo Maresca. Like, he's played Estevao in the 10 like twice and never for a full game. So if you're going to play Estevao in the 10, it's like, mate, do it against a team that we don't need to win against to prevent there being a 10-point gap in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? All right, okay, so we could talk about Cole Palmer all day. We both think Cole Palmer is elite and needs the team building around him. Whether that's going to happen under the current manager is something up for discussion, but we shall move on. Another really interesting one. only because I'm really curious to see what your answer is. It's Jamie Gittins.
Loan.
Yeah. So
not enough.
Got to go. Like
got to go loan.
You're not on the fence about giving him another run. So got to go on loan, but albeit needs to get out of the team, isn't ready for us yet.
I put Tyreek George above Jamie Gittins right now.
Yeah, agreed. Actually,
I've seen more from Tyreek George this season.
Yeah.
Than I've seen from Jamie Gittins.
No,
Jamie Gittins looks void of confidence.
Yep.
He looks slow. He's not up to the pace, and we'll get on Garnacho in a bit because he'll be part of it. But we have a moan about Garnacho missing chances and making the runs and not doing anything with it. Jamie Gittins, if he's not doing a step over or having a shot, I don't see him.
Yeah.
At least Garnacho is involved in the all-round play of the game. For 100%. Me, Gittins is not. He needs to go somewhere, whether it be Premier League, back to Dortmund, somewhere where he can just play. Obviously not back to Dortmund because there's a reason we got him in the first place and won him. But go to a team where he can just be playing week in, week out and find that confidence again, because he just doesn't look ready for the Premier League.
No.
And he doesn't look of Chelsea quality.
No.
Not even depth quality right now.
No, he doesn't, man. Honestly, I 100% agree. For me, it's got to go on loan. I think that there's no chance of him getting sold because of how much we bought him for. And I do think that there could be something there, man. He's still really young. He's like 20 years old. Do you know what I mean? He is a really, really young player. But at the same time, 100% we'll get on to Garnacho in a minute. But that's the only obvious comparison there is at the moment. And yes, we can moan about Garnacho missing chances, but he's getting them. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. And it's like I said yesterday, he was on the ball so much. Do you know what I mean? And I've seen a development in Garnacho over the last few games where he is getting on the ball a lot more, and he's making cutbacks happen, and there's no one there to put him away and stuff. I feel like Garnacho is on the precipice of moving into another level. He just needs a couple of numbers for his confidence and for that self-assuredness, and I do actually think that Garnacho could get there. We'll get onto him in a minute, but comparing that to Jamie Gittins, who we are actually talking about right now, the step overs drive me nuts because I'm like, mate, you're not Ronaldo, and you can do step overs when you're scoring goals, getting assists, and contributing to the team. Step overs don't contribute to the team. They are you trying to do something fancy when what you need to do right now is to keep it simple. I agree. I think alone to another Premier League team or even like a Strasbourg or something, man, just to get him consistent game time. With a manager, because the problem with Dortmund was the manager didn't like him. The new manager that came in didn't like him. That's why they ended up selling him. Didn't play him very much, even though he did all right out there. But he needs trust. He needs time. He needs consistent playing time. So maybe a France or an Italy would be okay, or a Spain or something like that. But ultimately, for me, it's got to go on loan. I still see potential there. Of course, I do. But
the problem is we've got so many young players. We can say that about all of them. All the players we've spoken about are all like 23. 24 and under. They're all young. None of them bar like Tosin and Chalobah that are going into their prime. I mean, I think Reece James is just 26 now. So he's still like a year or so. He might be 25. He's still a year or so about reaching that prime age. So all our players are going to be young. So we're going to be saying this about everyone. But it's about what the players need to get better and what Chelsea need, and we need better quality. That's the fact of the matter.
Agreed. I don't think it would be difficult to buy a player. I think you could spend a lot less than you did on Jamie Gittins to get a player that's better than him as well. Do you know what I mean? I think the money that was spent on Jamie Gittins was an investment in his future rather than you're worth this to the team right now, unfortunately. And there's quite a lot of that in the squad at the moment, isn't there? But we will move on. João Pedro.
Keep for me.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Keep as a depth player.
I
don't... Like, he's a mix between he can do okay in a 10, he can do okay in the 9. He's scoring some goals. I mean, how much he knew about the goal that he scored yesterday, I don't really care. He scored. It went in the net. I know we didn't win the game, and that's another story, but he's scoring. Still want more from him, but as a depth player, I would be more happy with him than Delap as a depth player.
Yeah. Do you know what? Initially, I thought I was on the fence for this, but you are right. And you actually said it earlier really, really well. A lot of the players that are in our first team at the moment are depth players, and João Pedro should be that. João Pedro should be the guy that's pushing someone for a spot. Because the potential's there. We saw it. We saw it against PSG. We saw it against, do you know what I mean, at the start of the season against AC Milan. And do you know what I mean, we've seen enough from João Pedro to go, okay, when things are going well, there's something really there. But maybe this is another thing. Now he's been coached a lot, because he hadn't been coached very much at that point, had he? That's the thing. He just kind of came in and was probably told, just go for it. But now he's been coached a lot. He looks really frustrating all the time, but he is getting goals. He does get assists. Not to the elite level that we need, especially, what is it, like 6 goals and 3 assists this season now, which is fine.
That's the thing. If you've got him behind a 20-goal striker, it's fine.
Yeah.
If he can reach double figures, 10 goals, a few assists, get between like 15 to 20 goal involvements behind what you would have an elite striker, you're happy with that.
Yeah.
Because you're not expecting him to run the team, but at the moment, that's what we are expecting him to do.
I am concerned, but the reason I was on the fence, although I will say keep, because I do agree with you, the reason I was on the fence about João Pedro is I think João Pedro is another player in a long line of players that we've bought. I've mentioned this before. We buy a player who's reasonably good in a certain type of position, and that position doesn't exist in the team. We did it with Timo Werner. We did it with Kai Havertz. We did it with Hakim Ziyech to a degree. We did it with Nicholas Jackson, really. Do you know what I mean? We did it with Nicholas Jackson. We keep buying these strikers whose main focus is not scoring goals. That try and add, I can drift wide, or I can drop deep, or I can be a 9.5, or kind of play like a 10. It's like, I feel like because he's had so much pressure put on him to be the striker and it isn't working, then it's just looking obvious now that we've just done it again. We've just bought another player for a position that doesn't really exist in the team, because he used to play as part of a front two in Brighton. Which makes sense, because he is actually then kind of up top but dropping deep. But there's another striker there to do that for him. And that's different from being the creative guy in the hole in the number 10 who pulls the strings and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It is a really, really different role. He's like another Christopher Nkunku. Do you know what I mean? And I'm worried about that, because we have literally done that like 5 or 6 times in a row now. We keep buying these players for the striker spot that aren't strikers. And it's never worked. So I am keeper, because I think that he, like you said, I agree that he is, at the moment, he's of depth quality, but we're playing him as a starter. And I think if he were to be our depth, then he could get even better, because he'd have a bit more. He's not just like, well, I'm going to play anyway.
Pressure's
because
off.
And that's what happened with Nicholas Jackson, wasn't it? Nicholas Jackson was like, I can go 4 games without scoring, because you literally don't have anyone else. Right, okay, cool. We will move on. And next one, we've mentioned him a little bit already. Tyreek George.
He's got to go.
Agreed.
He's got to be. Like, he was going to go in the summer. I don't recall. I know it was a paperwork thing. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
He doesn't, for his development, he doesn't deserve to just be wasted away, which is what's happening.
100%.
And he deserves to go play first team football. Yeah. He's good enough to play. And I would say like the likes of Burnley, even Fulham. Fulham would have been perfect for him, and I hope they still come back in for him, because I think it would be a great move for him. But I think his time is up at Chelsea, and I think he knows that too. I think he wants the move because he wants to play.
Mate, the telling thing for me is like when Tyreek George gets played as a striker, which is where he's played for us the most this season, he looks like he's not interested, and the few opportunities he's gotten as a winger, it's like watching a completely different player. Like he tries so much harder, and he looks a lot more engaged. And he's also a good finisher. he's like arguably one of the.
He was our top scorer for a while, wasn't he?
Do you know what I mean? And that is with only making a handful of appearances at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And he's got a banger in him. He's got an absolute banger in him. For me, Tyreek George has got to go, and not because I don't want to keep him, just because it's just the realism of the situation that we're in, isn't it? He wants to go. He's not going to get time on the wings. He shouldn't be playing as a striker. We'll get money for him because he's an academy product. His stock will have risen because he's played well for us this season, and it's time for him to go and get an actual opportunity to be part of a team. Okay, cool. We'll move on to Mark Gue.
Loan. Got to go. Loan.
Yeah, okay.
Not like he's also another one. He could be sold because also he was bought for a really, really low price. What was it, like 4 million?
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. So in terms of profit, and I don't like speaking about it because basically just seeing players as cash cows, which in a sense that's how they're treated in this business. But they would make profit on him.
Yeah.
He is good enough to play in a lower league side. He's not of Chelsea quality yet.
Yeah.
He's got the right attributes. Don't get
Yep.
me wrong. Like his pressing, I find is unreal. But when he was on, like even the most recent when he was on, he sort of lost that. He wasn't
Yeah.
pressing, and
No.
whether that's just him not interested or the manager giving something different. But he's got attributes of a striker. He's
Yeah.
good at pressing. He arrives in the box at the right time. He scores goals, but he's not of Chelsea quality yet.
Yeah.
And he needs a loan, potentially going to be sold, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I think for me I'm the same, and it's almost it's copy paste of the reason that Tyreek George needs to be sold as well. I think that from our perspective, it's a few quid in the bank, and if we want to go out and get better attacking players, these are the guys that will be sacrificed. Do you know what I mean? That is the truth. I love Mark Yu. I love that pressing energy, and I think that there could easily be a really good player in there, but at the same time, he's just not getting game time. He's not trusted. He's not being used. He's not. He's had to convince his way in, over Tyreek George for a striker spot when that's his literal position, and he scored 6 goals in the Conference League for us last year. Do you know what I mean? And even with that time, there was still, I'm actually going to play Tyreek George there instead. So yeah, I think it will be a sale. Although I would prefer him to get loaned, and I would prefer to keep him around and in the squad, I just see him getting sold, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, and I suppose that the factor of the matter is, and we said this at the start,
Yeah.
we want Chelsea to kick on. We want
Yeah.
to win titles. We want to win things,
Yep.
which means we need better quality. So we can't keep the players that are just okay, just average, because that's not going to change.
The thing is, Mueka next year from the academy will be in and around the same level as Mark Yu is right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the thing with people like Tyreek George and Mark Yu is it's a shame because you'll never see them reach their potential in a Chelsea shirt, but also that we're either going to buy or promote from the academy a crop of players that are the same level as those guys right now. So yeah, for me it's 100% got to go. And again, that's not because I don't like him. I do like him, but you've again just hit the nail on the absolute head. If we want to challenge for a title next season, Mark Yu getting some minutes doesn't really factor into that, does it, to be completely honest? If João Pedro is our backup striker next year, then yeah, okay. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of what we're talking about. But Mark Yu, no, unfortunately, I don't think so. So easy one, Facundo Buonanotte.
Send him back. Send him back in January.
Yeah, same.
Well, I forgot he was even here.
Yeah.
It was a pointless panic, needing cover. Not even a purchase, just a loan. We've gone from buying Brighton players to now developing players for them.
Yeah.
What is this? It's ridiculous. Send him back.
I understood it because we loaned him at the very end of the conversation surrounding Xavi Simons and Fermin Lopez. So we were convinced at that moment in time that we needed a player for the number 10, and loaning Buonanotte from Brighton was a lot cheaper than those other two and put a body there. And as it's turned out, it's actually gone quite well if you think about it, because as it's turned out, we don't need that body there. But if we'd have bought a Xavi Simons or if we'd have bought a Fermin Lopez, then we'd have too many players for that spot, wouldn't we, at the end of the day? So I understood that why we got him. It was never about making the team better. It was just about making sure there's a body there for as and when we need him. But he's not getting enough game time. He's not good enough. He could maybe turn out to be a good player somewhere. He did all right at Leicester in the Prem last season. Do you know what I mean? And maybe he could start thinking about getting into Brighton's team now. I'm not sure. But if he's not good enough for Brighton, he's not good enough for Chelsea, is he? That's the truth. Right, okay, cool. Easy one, but I think I know where you'll put him. Esteval Willian.
I'm going to say keep.
Yeah.
The potential is there to get to the next level, but not yet. He's got a lot of work to do, even just in his physical stature. He needs to fill out a bit more to cope with the physicalness of the Premier League and the speed of it. But you can see the magic. You can see that there is something special in them, but he just needs to be nurtured, developed, and then I would say we will build around him.
I find
in a
it.
couple of years' times.
I know he's been injured recently, but I find it very unusual how consistent he was being used. He was basically playing most games, start, bench, but he was still featuring most games, and then all of a sudden just kind of disappeared. Again, what I find really, really unusual, and that will have halted his momentum. 100% agree with you. He's a keeper. He's not elite yet, but I don't think it will take him long to get there.
No.
Right, and the last one on the list is someone we've spoken about a few times already. It's Alejandro Garnacho.
I'm going to say keep.
Mm-hmm.
As a depth player,
Yep.
I think... You know what? For me, Garnacho, and I've spoken to a few United fans, and they've sort of said the thing, and I kind of get it. Like, from the bench,
Yeah.
he looks so much better
Yeah.
than
Same
when
with
he's
Westergaard, to be
starting.
fair.
Yeah, but I've seen enough for him that there is something that he can provide. He just needs to fine-tune his finishing. He needs to... For me, and this... I don't want to keep going on about Maresca and stuff like that because then I feel like I'm bashing the manager. It's not the case,
video.
but yeah, different video. For the way that like Jamie Gittins and Garnacho are two different type of wingers. Jamie Gittins loves to take players 1v1. Garnacho loves to run in behind.
Yeah.
And that's why we see those runs all the time from him.
Yeah.
I'm finding a lot of times recently he's been getting squared up 1v1 and it's not looking great for him. Because he's having to try and he's not a player that's going to do 5-6 step overs and rinse a player. He's got some good pace when he can get his legs running, when he can actually get some open space. But his biggest attribute is the deep runs in behind. We've seen the crosses that come in and he's getting on the end of them, not scoring, but that will come. And he is really good at the cutbacks.
Yeah, really
and if we had some people arriving at the right time, which they should be, or when they are there, like Enzo Fernandez yesterday, actually putting the ball in the back of the net, it makes his number goes up and people go, oh, actually, he is doing bits, but he can't assist the goal and score it for the player. So some of the things he's been let down by some of his other players, there is still a lot of rawness in there.
Yeah.
And a lot of things he still needs to improve on.
Yeah.
But I've seen enough for me to keep him and for the potential to be used, especially in the depth capacity.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think I'm keeper. He's a keeper for me, and I think what's interesting is Garnacho should be a backup to someone on the left who is at least Pedro Neto's level.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So what we're looking at, our start, it's a bit wonky, isn't it? Because our starting 11 at the moment contains Garnacho on the left, Pedro Neto on the right. Pedro Neto, as I've said before, I think is a great player and is at the very least the minimum quality that we should have as a winger in a Chelsea team. Garnacho is not quite there yet and should be the Jamie Gittins position. If we had a Semenyo, I know that's not happening, don't get me wrong, but if we had a player of the kind of quality of Semenyo, or at least a player of the quality of Pedro Neto on the left, Garnacho should be nipping at his heels trying to get opportunities off of him. And I never thought Garnacho was just going to go straight into the team and get opportunities, but where we are at the moment is we haven't got a huge amount of other choice. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing, isn't it? Because you can't go up against an Aston Villa and go, oh, we'll give Jamie Gittins the opportunity today. Like, obviously you can't do that. I do think it's a difficult one for Garnacho. Like, I see a lot of potential, and like I've mentioned earlier in the video, I think that he is just on the cusp of unlocking something. Like you said, when a few of those cutbacks start meeting people and going in, when a lot of these chances he's missing start going in, I think we're talking about a completely different Garnacho. And it's been polarising from Man United fans this season because I've seen two things. I've seen Garnacho having a good game and videos from Man United fans coming out being like, why wasn't he this good for us? And then Garnacho having a poor game and them laughing at us being like, yeah, we're so glad we got rid of him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
but I suppose it is also the biggest thing, and you touched on it there, and people going, oh, good game, bad game, good game.
Yeah.
The problem with young players is that's what you're going to get. You're never going to get consistent performances. They are always going to be... You might be lucky if you get 2 or 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Might be lucky. But other than that, they're going to be good one game, not so great, then really poor. That is what we're going to get. And that is what, not us as Chelsea fans have signed up for, but that is what the model is. That is what the route that we're going down.
Do you know one thing that's really interesting about this in general is something that we don't really talk about as Chelsea fans is a lot of these players on this list that we've put in as elite, Caicedo, Cucurella, were not good in their first season here.
Yeah.
And that is something that... And they were young. I know maybe not quite as young as a Garnacho or a Jamie Gittins are now or whatever, but Enzo Fernandez wasn't good in his first season for us. Caicedo wasn't good in his first season for us. Marco Correa, people were screaming to get him out after the first few
Yeah.
months. Do you know what I mean? And now these guys are irreplaceable. So, you know, what we've just gone through, obviously, is the entire list of the Chelsea team and how we feel about them right now and, you know, kind of where they are right now based on the situation that they're in. But the truth is, some, or not all, definitely not all, but some of these players, and I kind of maybe expect Garnacho to be one, could be the next Cucurella, the next Caicedo, who we buy, they have a bad time, and then once they've adapted, then all of a sudden they become potentially irreplaceable. So it'd be interesting to see what happens next season, depending on who we buy.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, it's game time, man. The more they play, that's when you can't really, like, if we're getting 2 seasons in and they barely played any minutes,
Yeah,
you can't really make a judgment on them because they've never really been given a fair opportunity. And that's why the likes like Gittins probably could do with more game time. We've already said he needs to go on loan, but he's not been able to get it because when he is coming on, he's not showing enough to warrant it. So going on loan makes sense for him,
yeah, for sure.
in my eyes, to go get more game time. But there's definitely players in that are in the keep section that could potentially become elite, that could be built around. But the question is, how long do you wait?
Yeah.
That is the problem, because we've been waiting for years and we seem to reset every summer. And then we're waiting again.
Seems to be 2 seasons generally is what people are getting at the moment, isn't it? Right, okay, so that is the list of all the current Chelsea players. So I've just got 2 little things that we're going to wrap the video up with. One, in those 4 categories, where'd you put Enzo Maresca right now?
I'm going to go on the fence.
Yeah.
I'm not Maresca out yet.
No.
But what I am seeing is I'm seeing a lot of errors.
Yeah.
Different errors that I did not see last season that are now coming to light now.
Yeah.
And it's repeating itself.
Yeah.
It's not getting better.
Yeah.
Which is, like, we've spoken about the rotation the entire season, but he's still doing it and it's still causing us problems.
Yeah.
And he's even coming out in press conference saying, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done it this way. And he's still doing it, like Badiashile yesterday.
Yeah.
Why he said that Josh should have started in the Leeds game, so this is a perfect opportunity. For Fafana's, you don't want to use him for whatever reason it may be.
Yeah.
Show the faith in Josh.
Yeah.
To go on your words, because you put him above those players, but he hasn't done it. So I'm starting to feel like he's frustrated and he's haven't had enough.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing in his demeanour, even the way that he was sitting in the stands yesterday. He just didn't look happy, even when we were winning 1-0. It was just a miserable bastard, if I'm going to be honest. But even, the demeanour in the press conferences, some of the things he's been saying, it just looks like there's just a change.
Yeah.
And yes, the ownership and the sporting directors play a big part, because if you don't give the tools, how can you expect someone to do the job? I get that. But then a lot of the decisions that he's making in game, that's not down to the sporting directors and the thing. That is down to the management of the players, and that I put on him.
I do largely
and he's
push
making
back.
a lot of errors.
I do largely push back on this hasn't been given the tools thing, because not so long ago we were second in the Premier League. We'd scored the most goals and had the second. Sorry, we'd scored the second most amount of goals and had and had the most clean sheets. All the other way around. I can't remember which one it was. So with these terrible tools that Enzo Maresca has been given, we were second in the Premier League. We had scored almost the most goals, if not the most goals, and conceded the least amount of goals. Do you know what I mean? So we can talk about not being given the tools all you want, but at the end of the day, Maresca has proved that he is able to get those kind of performances out of this team. So I don't. But
also, we've said in the video that a lot of these players, are depth quality.
Yeah,
is depth quality good enough for Chelsea? And that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
But I don't think the squad is on for a title challenge this season. Do you know what I mean? I think the squad is good enough to be comfortably sat in the Champions League spot right now, rather than being 1 game away from being out of it, which is where we currently are, and basically where we were most of last season. So,
I agree on that side. Like,
I don't think he's been given the tools to win the league, but I don't think that was the remit for this season either. Do you know what I mean? It's like I think that we have the tools to be in 2nd or 3rd place reasonably comfortably as of right now. We should be like, he had the players to beat Bournemouth. He had the players to beat Leeds. He had the players to beat Brentford. He had the players to beat Aston Villa, and we were. Do you know what I mean? For 60 minutes.
I suppose the underlying issue is, as Chelsea fans, when we say tools, we want tools for title challenges, where the tools he's been provided are for the specific targets that they are setting, which
the thing is
top four Champions League.
I don't think that there would be a negative connotation around the club at the moment, though, if we were in second or third place right now. I think people would be looking at that and being mostly reasonably happy with the progression and understanding that we only need a few extra big tools to go for a big title challenge next season. You know, and that's just kind of how I feel about it. So yes, I will never argue anyone who says he hasn't got the tools to win the league at the moment, because he hasn't. But I also don't think that was the remit, do you know what I mean, for this season. You know, even in his own mind, I don't think he went into the start of the season going, I'm going to win the league this year. Do you know what I mean? Because if that was his remit, you would see it. Do you know what I mean? You would see it. So that's So I am also on the fence about Enzo Maresca. I'm not Maresca out, but the last 2-3 weeks, month really, all the issues were already there. But the problem I'm seeing now is those issues aren't developing. They're not like he's not making enough effort to deal with the problems that he's creating himself. So it's all fine and good coming out and being like, I'm not getting enough support. And it's like, bro, you've won one game against Everton in the last 7 games. And in those games, you've lost against Leeds and Atalanta. Do you know what I mean? So, that's kind of... I'm on the fence as well, man. And I think I'll be interested to see what happens in January now. If only because we were linked with Semenyo, that means there's money there for the right player at the end of the day. And the last thing we will quickly do, just before we wrap up, is although we'll do a quick fire of the excluded players from the start, right? Just to see what you think about them. So I'll just get your opinion on this. Gaga Slonina.
Go.
Max Derrick.
It's Academy boy. Loan or...
Yeah.
I can't remember where he come from, but loan. Yeah.
Levi Colwill.
Keep. Wouldn't put him elite yet, but keep.
Yeah.
Definitely, but he could be.
Dario Asugo.
Keep. Squad depth.
Yeah.
I think he was brought in to be Caicedo's squad depth. So
100%.
Makes sense.
Mykhailo Mudryk.
Go. Go.
Is he even still here?
I don't. The problem is we're going to have like 3 of the same wingers that are just not good enough, and we need quality in there. So I would rather see him go and us bring something else in. If I want to be totally honest, and he's had too much time away from football, way too much.
Yeah, way too much time. Right, cool. Well, do you know what then? We have just gone through the entirety of the squad and the manager saying what we think about him and where we stand on their position. So, nice one, guys. Thanks very much for sticking around until the end of the video. If you did, if you have made it this long into this video, then do me and Kai the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to our respective channels in the Stamford Sink and Behind the Dugouts, or just roast us in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. Nice one, guys. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. Thank you, Kai, for sticking around with me for this long, and we will be back very, very soon. Take it easy, guys. Peace.